Hello, good day. My name is Oliver Toby Adelier, and I will be talking on the Panera Bread Company. First, I'd like to start with a little history on the company. Um, Panera Panera Bread grew out of a company that was the grandfather of the fast food casual concept. It was called the Aubin Pay. And in 1976, it was owned by a French oil manufacturer named Paul Valer. After like a few years, Louis Kane grew interested in it and purchased the business in 1978. With this, he opened the business, and after a few years, he got bankrupt, and so then he got a business partner in Ronald Shage, and Ronald Shage helped him out because he was a strategist and he was a graduate from Harvard business. He was a Harvard business graduate. He opened the Cookie Jar Bakery in Cambridge, in Massachusetts, in 1980, and so he wanted to add croissants and bread into the menu because he felt like the store that Louis King had, over 50,000 people were passing there, and like they had nothing to sell them in the morning. So he felt like bread and croissants was gonna be a good start in order to get some money. And so at first this made Aubin Payne really successful at first, and then later on in 1985 they added sandwiches to bluster the daytime sales because by studying the customers' behavior, to figure out what the customers liked and what like they were buying stuff to make their own sandwiches. So they used that as a moment to to start the fast casual restaurant concept. They wanted a concept where they could they could they could create a line between fast food and fine dining, and like this was going to be pretty important because most people they're conscious about fast food and everything, and so being able to eat something that's a little bit healthy, and also eat it in a place where like uh they could sit down, chill, have meetings was going to be really important. So in 1993, Auburn Payne they came out of bankruptcy and bought the St. Louis Bread Company for 24 million. And Ronald Shea he felt like this was going to be a gateway into the suburban marketplace because at first they only targeted the rich customers with a lot of money, and so they felt like with this they could focus on the suburban growth appeal of the St. Louis bread, and they studied the place, the consumers, their unique expression of taste and styles, and they just focused on that for like a few years before they bought the St. Louis bread company, and so after that they started becoming a brand because everyone loved the Panera bread. But due to certain situations, they were losing a lot of money, so they had to drop the Auburn Paint segment company area and focus more on the Panera bread because it was becoming a national brand and it was becoming more successful. So they did that, and then this grew Panera into more of like a franchise by making franchise into more of like a big company by making franchise agreements, acquisitions, and they also purchased the Paradise Bakery and Cafe, and this kind of brought them more into the National Bakery Cafe concept, which was what was happening worldwide at that time. And so yeah, they used that as an opportunity, and it helped because there were like a lot of companies that that they could have used, or a lot of companies that were operated as like a bakery cafe, And so after they were created, you know, I already explained this. The fast food industry was it was described as like low-grade burgers, greasy fries. People felt insecure while they were eating them because they felt it was unhealthy. So they used Ronald used this as an opportunity to create a casual but comfortable place where customers could eat fresh baked breads, fresh sandwiches, soup, salads without worrying about whether it was nutritious to the body or not. And so they really focused on this concept of bread, bakery, cafe, uh, ca- 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 category because this everybody customers they trust when you serve them high quality food, especially in this kind of situation with bread, you know, and quality products because it brings kind of like a warm, friendly feeling to that stuff. So Panera, they focused on three business segments. They focused on company-owned bakery, cafe operations, franchise operations, and fresh dough operations. And I believe with this, it helped improve their revenue. They had a major increase in their revenue to 2010. I think 2010. They changed their CEO, and but the king they still kept growing. They they grew especially in the company-owned bakery cafe operations. They grew a lot and accounted for 85% of the revenues for the company. Pretty much like Panera's growth strategy was focused on growing store profit and increasing transactions and gross profit per transaction and using the capital smartly and putting in place for drivers to gain the competitive advantage. That kind of was like a kind of a definition that I was looking at, and but yeah, Panera used that, used the bakery cafe concept into making Panera very successful, and they have positive financial results, and they're not like they're not with debts or anything. I think this is really smart of the company, and that concludes my little summary of how Panera started and like how they are right now, which is very successful. Thank you.